Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Tim, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about something really fun, really cool that I've been able to practice over my 5 years of game, and something that's going to help you make your game a lot better if you follow the steps and if you practice and get reference experience. And that is calibration. How do you calibrate each set properly, and how do you match the tempo of the girl properly on a nightly or daily basis? First of all, you have to understand what calibration means. So it's like some guys come into set and they're super aggressive, right? And the girl's like, oh my God, super scared. And they just keep on being super aggressive. And then the set dies out, or they call the cops or some shit like that, right? Which just actually happens with a video that me and my friend were watching the other day of a pickup guy. And that happens, right? The secret is that they're not calibrating properly. They don't understand the frame, the lock that fits with the girl's personality and the way the girl is, and they go with their own frame and their own mindset and the way they want to game, and they forget about the girl completely. That's wrong. In order to have the best pickup and the best success, you need to calibrate. Why do you need to do so? Well, if you game a certain way and your personality is a certain way and how you project yourself is a certain way, and you only stick with that and don't change up a little bit based on the kind of girl you open, you're going to be cutting out half the girls that you could be sleeping with, right? Because you have some girls that won't respond to you acting a certain way, but some girls will respond to it. So all the girls that aren't responding to that one way, you're cutting all of them out and only getting the small amount of girls that are responding to how you normally act. In this video, I'm going to talk about 4 points that I know that I use in my own game to calibrate super fast. And how do I know this? Because guys that I game with personally have told me, dude, like, you match the energy of the girl really quickly. So I'm going to talk about 4. Actually, you know what? Let's make it 5 points that I'm going to talk about and give you to help you calibrate fast.
I can't believe you're Italian and I'm giving this little to you right now. No, I'm serious. Like, I don't do this in Italian.
Why not? What the fuck is wrong with Italian?
The way you said that, no, don't forget it's taller. If you're gonna groove your body sexually, do it on me only. Okay, that's the only way we can do that shit. Maybe I like Italian girls a little bit. I'll take it.
So the first point about calibration and what I use in my own game to calibrate super fast is you want to start each interaction as close to sex as possible. This may not make sense to you as far as calibration is concerned, right? But it makes a lot of sense actually when you hear me explain it. So many guys make the mistake of thinking that I can calibrate in a set, or I can make this connection with a girl by not showing intent and by just leaning back and chill and just talking, right? But no, you want to start each interaction as close to your intent as possible. It's like if sex is here and being a completely platonic friend is here, you want to start here, right? How do you do that? One is by being physical, making very strong eye contact, things like that. But again, you do have to calibrate it. By not doing this, you're not calibrating. So it's like a catch-22. It's very ironic. But by not showing any intent, you're not calibrating. Because this is a girl you're talking to, right? You're not trying to be her best friend. That's not calibration. You're just like every other guy. By showing intent, you are calibrating. But by managing the way you show intent and managing your physicality, that's the best form of calibration. So again, you can start off by grabbing the girl, pulling her into you. Sure, that's fine, and some girls will completely go with that. But if you do that with every single chick, that's not calibration. Point number 2. This is the mindset that you need to have when you calibrate. Her response, the girl's response, does dictate what you do in set. A lot of guys think that whatever the girl does and whatever she says doesn't matter, but that's completely not true. Whatever the girl does and however she responds to you does dictate what you need to do next. And it doesn't mean that you can't be free of outcome or be yourself as a man, but it does mean that if the girl is super shy and not giving you anything and just standing and talking to you, you don't need to try to forcefully make out with her, right? What the girl responds to and how she acts in relation to you does have to do with how you calibrate. Third point about calibration that will help you in your game is calibration comes in highs and lows. More specifically, escalation comes in highs and lows. And this is really important. I can't stress this. Yesterday, I was out gaming and I saw a guy, and there was a girl who was super into him, but he kept trying to escalate on her by pulling her body close to him and like holding her super tight, wagging back and forth with her, right? And she was just like, and she was like staying. She was hooked too. But every time she would go in, he would try to pull her in, and she would take her hand and put her on his chest like, not yet, not yet. Escalation comes in highs and lows. You don't always need to escalate hard. You don't always need to pull the girl towards you. You don't always need to escalate soft and just hold her hand. It's a combination of both, and you have to learn how to read the girl. This comes from reference experience. This is one of the other points of calibration. Escalation comes in highs and lows. There's times where you want to escalate super, super hard, be super aggressive, spin girls around, put the arm over, walk with them down the block, just take them, lead, all that stuff. There's some times where you want to escalate softly, hold her hands, stare into her eyes. Escalation comes in highs and lows. That's very, very important. We're filming a video. Okay. That's very, very important. Escalation comes in highs and lows, right? So when you go out, how can you tell how to escalate? Based on what the girl is giving you. Remember the second point that I said, the girl's reaction does matter? This ties right into this point. Escalation comes in highs and lows, right? So it's like if the girl is not giving you much while you're escalating, but she's giving you something. So if you go for a handhold, often a test I like to do is hold my hand out. If the girl gives me her hand and I can pull it towards me and I can keep going, I know that I can escalate, but I can escalate softly. If I take her hand and she leans into me, or if I just hold for a hug and she takes my waist, I know that I can escalate super hard. And I'll pull her in, talk into her ear, touch her chin, go for a makeout. But it's like, if she gives you a little bit, but it's still standoffish, you know that you have to escalate slowly and escalate softly. So don't forget this third point, that escalation comes in highs and lows. The fourth point in calibration is more on the verbal scale, and I was talking about this in another video that I made, and it's that escalation is tied in with verbals. You want to have shallow verbals, and you want to have deeper verbals, deeper connections, right? So it's like sometimes when you're talking to a girl and you've had an extended set with her, you want to talk with her on a deeper, deeper level, depending on what kind of girl she is. But sometimes you'll have a set that'll last for hours and hours and hours, but you can keep it super surface, super fun, super light, super flirty. You have to find a balance. There's some girls that you're going to make a really deep connection with over a short amount of time. There's a guy I know that I see him around gaming, and I have a lot of respect for his game because he specializes in making a really deep connection with girls over a short amount of time. It's like within 5 minutes, he's staring into the girl's eyes, talking about shit that she just doesn't tell strangers. And I really like that kind of game. But again, every interaction is not like that. Some interactions are going to be super surface, super flirty and light. There's been sets that I've had and I've talked to them for like hours and hours, and I have not made a super deep connection. It's been super flirty, super light, right? Very sexual. Then there's also been sets that I've been very sexual with over a short period of time, but I have made a very deep connection with them. I was coaching a student actually, and I told this girl that I was coaching and everything. We talked about our past, our families, and it was over a span of like 15 minutes. And I made a very deep connection with her, and now we date. I think that's really interesting and really cool. But calibration is just like super fluid, very fluid, and calibration is never a solid. So it's like some girls you're gonna form a deep connection with over a short amount of time or a long amount of time. Others you can have super surface, super shallow. I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. One works sometimes for some girls and one doesn't. You have to figure it out for yourself. Those are my 4 points of calibration. Number 1, you always want to start as close as you can to sex. Not starting there means that you're not calibrating, right? You always want to go as close as you can, then back up, because pickup is always going to be an uphill battle. Every single set that you do is going to be uphill, unless it's a hooker. Even then, it's going to be uphill because you're not going to be giving her money for sex. So you're going to have to work. You're going to have to do some kind of game, right? Second point is, again, what the girl gives you does matter. You want to react based on what the girl is doing. And I'm not saying be completely reactive where it's like, oh my God, she looked at me hard, so now I have to crumple. No, it's not like that. But it's like if the girl is not giving you anything and she's super shy, you want to slow it down. If the girl is giving you a lot and she's super invested, you want to go hard. You want to go hardcore because you're going to completely lose her if you don't. Third point, there's slow escalation and there's fast escalation. There's high escalation and low escalation. You don't always have to escalate the same way. Sometimes you can take it slow and make a really soft sort of hand-holdy, put arms around waist, stare into eyes. Sometimes you're just hardcore, pull in, instant makeout, right? Different girls react different ways, and that follows the second point. And the last point is that your verbals and the way you connect with the girl can be super surface or very deep. You need to figure that out, and this comes from reference experience, right? I've had reference experience over 5 years with thousands of sets, right? Now it's time for you, if you haven't already, to go out, take action, and get that reference experience on your own. Thanks guys for watching. This is Tim. for Viking Lifestyle, and I will see you guys later.